okay, the correct name for that web controls. Okay, so if that one is a labels, you put it ASP labels, right? Some lecturers, when they mark, okay, it doesn't matter if you don't have the ASP, but at least the labels need to be correct. Okay, text box also, when you put in some names, you need to put in some text box, right? So I can put in ASP, the whole ones, ASP and the text box, okay? Or text box, at least text box should be the correct one. Okay, so the question says that's a web form, so it should be a complete web form. Not this one, this is not a marathon registration web form, I just shows a sample of web forms only. Okay, so yours with the titles related to the marathon registrations, the titles, okay, and others, labels, and the controls. Okay, control at least 3 means that at least you have examples like you have a text box, okay, you have a radio button or radio button list. How to apply it need to relate to that marathons. It says that one is marathons, right? When you use radio buttons, maybe it should be something like maybe you let the user select what size, what t-shirt size they want to take. Say S, M, XL, XXL. So that one we can use radio button list, right? Okay. So radio button list also need to be correct one. If you want to be safe, HP radio button list, okay, or else at least radio button list, this one needs to be correct. Okay. After that, okay, what else? What is text box already? Okay, labels already. Okay, it says 4, right? 4 type, right? Okay, label is 1, text box is 1. Okay, radio button is sorry. Drop down is. Maybe let the user select what is the distance that they want to participate, 25 km, 10 km, or 50 km. So this one you need to design in your own platform. Okay, so it's 4 already. Okay, and then submit button. Okay, submit button also one of it, right? Submit button, what is the name for this submit button? Button. Not submit, submit is wrong one. When you design this form, you need to consider the next questions also. The next question is the validation type. Okay, enough for you to put in 3 different validation type or not? Okay, if not, you need to put in more web forms. Okay, so based on the ones that you create for these marathon forms, then we go to chapter 7 validations. Okay, validations you have 6 types, right? Okay. So first, the name need to be correct. Require field validator. Okay, if you put in require validator means that it is wrong because the name is wrong already, right? Okay, when you drag from a toolbox, it is require field validators. Okay, compare validators, range validator. Okay, regular expressions validators, custom validators, and validation summary. So these are the 6 types validations that we're able to drag from that. Okay, toolbox for these validations controls. So based on what you have designed just now, the question says that okay, identify 4 types of validation controls. Identify requires ones definitely you're able to use. Okay. Requires few validators. Okay, first one. And then it says that you need to explain, okay? Explain how they can be applied in the web form, how they can be applied, okay? So you put in require few validators. When you draw it, you draw the validation controls also, right? Like your variable 7, okay? Beside the web controls, and then you label that one as require few validators. Explain how you're able to apply it, okay? So you start to explain this one. Okay, control to validate is name text field, name text field. Okay, so this you ensure that this name text field one left empty. So you need to explain it. Identify is one, require few validators, and then explain it. Okay, this requires It requires few validators, not only apply to the name. Maybe others like IC also you apply this, require few validators. The t-shirt size also you apply it. Okay, the distance, the 25 or 10 km also you put in. Okay, and when you expand it, you expand all this, you apply the require few validators. But this is just one. You still need two, right? Okay, 4 type. So you need still need 3. Okay. So which ones you able to use? Huh? Range. Okay, which ones range you apply in when?
For the IC.
IC range data type. Specified range from how many to how many?
Do that for number of participants.
IC use regular expressions, okay, so that you can put in 8 digits, a dash, 2 digits, a dash, and 4 digits. Okay, so when you put in regular expressions, okay, regular expressions validations, okay, so you draw an asterisk, okay, beside that IC, you put in mesh the IC. Okay, match the IC using the regular expressions. Okay, what is the pattern or what? Okay, so you draw, put in the regular expressions pattern. Okay, pattern, right? Now the properties, you got to check the properties what you need to put in. Okay, properties is this one.
Just now, someone was saying this thing will join the star and write down the property.
What's that? Abstract.
Abstract, yeah. Describe the property.
因为你比方说你不懂它是 regular 还是 require。
Like the text.
Okay, validation expressions.
Beside that.
For the regular expressions, right? Regular expressions, the validations expressions, what is that pattern? Okay, put it. So different validators, right? Okay, got different things you need to put in. If you put in regular expressions to match, okay, to match the IC formats, then you put in the validations expressions. Okay, you need to put in that regular expression format /d, okay, 6 dash. And then /d2 dash /d4. Yeah, so that one is regular expression. 2 already. Okay, more.
Want to write code, right?
And it is regular expressions. What else? 2 only. You still have 2 more. But one is requires, one is require, one is regular expressions.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Can you use custom validation
Custom-
email?
Custom validations for email. Can. Custom validation for email. But how do you apply it?
I don't understand what you mean by how to
Okay.
apply.
You use custom validations for email. Definitely can, because of custom validations, and we write our own function, okay, our own codes, design how we validate the email. Okay, but how? How?
She meant that one of the sites down there had a w/.
In all kinds of situations, what last time also when you have just show, this is the pattern you can copy, and this is the easy code.
Custom validations. Okay.
One of the example of easy code how to apply custom.
So since these questions didn't ask us to write codes, okay, very details, if you put in custom validations, okay, to validate the emails, okay, then you can say that, okay, for the servers validates, you can put in the function, servers validates functions, okay, to validate the emails based on the custom code. because it doesn't say that you need to put in the code details to validate that particulars, but you need to at least show that you know that when you use the custom validations, how do you apply it? I set my server validates, okay? They use a custom function, and custom function says like server validates email. This is the function's name, right? Okay. At least you explain a little bit, shows that you understand how to use the custom validator, custom validator. Yeah.
It seems there's no question she gave
Okay,
us.
1, 2, 3.
She gave us
One more.
genetics.
Summary.
Okay.
That's
The
how
range
they-
can use, right? Okay. The range can use, you can put in the edge. Okay. It says, okay, then you need to modify a little bit your forms. Okay. You put in one edge. Okay. That edge you put in a text box. Okay. And the text box you put in customs. Okay. The customs, the range validators, you apply it to limit the edge from say is 10 to 60. Okay. Or because of the range validators can use for data types also, right? Data types maybe that one is the numeric. So at least 4. So when you use range, when you use range, right? Okay, you need to mention that the minimum value and maximum value. Set it. Okay, if the one is for H, for others also cannot. Okay, but your explanations need to match to the points that you understand these validators. You cannot just simply say on it. Okay, simply says identify. Yes, identify you have marked. Explanation shouldn't have marked. Yeah. If you say that's the range validators you use to check the type, it says the HR, okay, or t-shirt size you put it in text box, okay, the types, it says that you say the type must be the alphabets, okay. What is the type? What else the type? Go to checks, okay. Then you drag it, okay, inside the properties, what type of type you're able to choose from this, okay, you explain the data type. Validation summary also one of it. If you put in another one is validation summaries, then you explain a little bit. Use the validation summaries to show it, show the error message. Show the error message if the controls fail to pass the validations. So 6 only require few validators, compare validator, range validators, regular expressions validator, custom validator, and validation summary. I see some of the fanciers, they will just put these two together and make it one question, which is 25 marks. Today we go to this chapter 8, the user control. Okay, what is user control? Okay, in ASP.NET page, okay, we have web form. Okay, when we add a new item, we choose web form. The web form file extension is ASPX. That one is web form. Okay, when we right click add an item, okay, under the web actually we can choose one more, we call it user control. And this user control with the file extension .ascx, that one is user control. Okay, this user controls like our web form, .ax, the form right here, can contain HTML and web control. Okay, so we can place the form control in the user controls. Okay, and we can use event handles like our web form. Event handle is the ones that when the user click on the button. Okay, in our CSRAW we have the event handles, right? So this one is the same. User control we can apply to the form control we can apply to the event handles. Okay, some advantages of user controls, like it is reusability. Okay, and then we can reduce the codes, encapsulations, okay, the repetitive elements, okay, can improve the performance, okay, which enables the fragments cachings. Okay, there are some limitations, okay, not ideal. Okay, this user control for separation of presentations, okay, HTML from the codes, okay, like the server control, okay, encapsulations of the data access methods in a reusable package like data access class of components. Okay, create a control that can be reused, okay, more widely than in just the applications, which can be achieved by custom controls. Okay. So this so-called some example of the advantages of using user controls and some limitations when we use user control. Okay. User controls. Okay, what is master page? Okay, master page in our chapter 2. Go back to this chapter 2. Okay, master page. Okay, this is the master page, right? Master page, we design a template using the master page, and then every single web forms we use this master page design. The one is master page. We compare with this user control. User controls is like a part of the web form, okay, which because of we need to use repeatedly, okay, so we create a user control for that part, okay, so that we don't need to repeat, okay, to create that particular part in the web form. So this is the difference between master page. Depends on what we want. Okay, like if we want the whole design templates, okay, and every single pages we want to follow the same template, then we use master page. Okay, if we want, okay, a repetitive control a small part of the web page, then we can use user control. Okay, if we wish to add common functionality in all pages, for example, every page will consist of common header and footer. That one we use master page. Okay, there are two different group of users who can log into a website. Okay. However, different group of users will see different menu after login, and this kind of things we can apply user control. Okay. How to create a user control? Okay. Like usual, we have a project, right click, add a new item. Then from our website, you'll see this web user control. Master page, okay, is the one that's master page, right? Web forms is web form. So we have another type of files which we call user control, and this user control with the file extension .axcx. Okay. So we have a user controls. Then these user controls we need to apply to our web form. Okay. Our web forms. Okay, we use one master page, and then one master page will have a lot of web form, right? Okay, and when we have a web form, we want to add our user control in a web form. Then we need to put in this line inside our web form. We register a user control on a page or on a web form. So this is the line syntax that we need to put in. We register the user controls, so we put this in our second line of our web form. Second line, right? First, the top one is the ones that normally we add a web forms already created for us. And we add a user control to a web form, so we register it using this registers user controls. So, okay, this is our user control. Okay, this one. Okay, so when we register it, we need to follow some syntax like we register text prefix. This text prefix super company is okay. This part from our user control. So says super computers, super companies that, and this is the syntax that this is the ones that okay we add the user control which we add to our web form, and how we register it, we use this one, okay, use this syntax to register it. So we need to put in tag prefix is this part, okay, and what is the tag name? Tag name is tag from here. Okay, so tag name is headers, tag prefix is super company, okay, and the ID is each control will have a unit ID, so ID. Yeah, so this is the syntax. Yeah, okay, once get this is a user control. This user control we want to put inside our form, so we register using this way. Okay, and we tag the tag prefix, we tag the tag name. So this is tag prefix, this is tag name. The ID is always unique. Okay, so based on this one, okay, so do some exercise. Write the necessary code on a web form to display the control, and this control with the text prefix, tag names, and the source. So, okay, based on these ones, okay, you write 2.1 how to register user control on a web page, and the user control is this. So this is the questions. Do that. This question asks you to write two lines, 1 and 2, both 1 and 2, by using these information. So there are two steps, right? One is the registers, then you need to write the syntax. Okay, register tag prefix, okay, equal to my menu, tag name equal to main menu, and source is menu.axcx. Okay, after that, how to add the user control, you need to know how to write the my menu, columns, main menu, ID you can put any because of there's no info related to the ID. Can run as servers also you need to write it. Yeah. So continue. And this tree also, do some exercise. This tree, okay, we have 1 and 2 steps, right? This is the certain steps, okay, with the tag names, prefix, okay, and IDs. So you complete this 3 exercise also. Yeah, so this tree, the answer is something like this. Just you change the tag prefix and tag name and source. Okay, how to register for the tree. Okay, so tag prefix, okay, tag name, okay, and the source. Okay. Tag prefix, tag name, and the source. Tag prefix, tag name, and the source. Yeah. For user controls, we have properties and methods. Okay, the user control content can be static or dynamic. Okay, so we can get the properties, set the properties for that user controls under our properties toolbox. Okay. All public variables declared in the user controls are exposed as property of the user control. Okay. Function or subroutines contained in the user controls, okay, are exposed as method of the user control. Okay. Properties. Properties in the user controls. Okay, we assign examples. Okay, this one is we assign a value to a user control properties. Consider we would like to create a properties then page titles or the page header user control. Okay, so page header. Okay. The properties. Okay. Examples like page titles, resellers. Later I show you the code. So this property inside the user control. Okay, examples page header.scx is a user control. Okay. So how to create a properties? Okay, this is examples of create a properties. Okay, it is a public strings. Okay, page titles. Okay, Okay, and then the public variables, okay, will be accessed by all the pages that contain the page headers user control. Okay, this is another properties. Okay, properties in user control. Okay, in a page homepage.xpx, okay, this page will registers a user control using these registers, right? Registers. This is the user control. Okay, prefix tag name. Okay. And this one started putting the page title, so it will display the page title on the labels in the page header controls. Okay. If you want to override it, then we set the values of this one and page title inside the user control. Simple examples on this one. Just show how to set the properties inside the user control. Okay. This is the one that's mentioned in the slide just now. Okay, means that we have a home page. This one is the home page, right? And this is the home page. Okay, this one is user control. User control. Okay. User controls is AXCX. Okay, so this so we register user controls like this, right? Register. The tag prefix is UC1. Okay, tag name is simple headers. So this is the user control, right? Okay. And source is simple header.xex. So this one is user control. Okay. So this is the first step, register. This is the second step, add the user control in our page. Okay, two steps that shows in the slide just now. One is register, one is add the user control to the web form. Okay, so these two steps will add this user control simple header.xex. Okay, so this is a simple header.xex. Okay. So this is a user control. I just simply put a simple labels follow the slide on it. Okay, but the file type is xex. Okay, just now when we go through the slide, it says that user controls. Okay, we can put in the web control like our web form. So this is a example of web controls, the label. Okay, and then we can use the event handles like our web form in our CS file. Okay, so means that in our CS file also, okay, user control we can do some things like our CS file. Okay, okay, so this is an example of the event handles. It means that during the page load, okay, the labels we take it from our page title. This page title is a public properties. Okay, this is the one that mentions in the slide, right? Okay, so this is the examples that I just follow exactly the slide and then show you how it looks like. Yeah, so means that this is a user control. Okay, and this user controls like our web forms can use the web controls and can have the page event handle like this. Okay, and this user control, okay, how I apply to my home page is first register, second is add the user control in it. Okay. And it says that user control we can add the properties like this. This is the properties, public properties. Okay. And these public properties, whenever I add this user control to other pages, okay, this user control I add to home page, this user control I add to my about page, this user control I add to my contact page. 3 pages, all these 3 pages can access my public properties. This is the meaning of it. Yeah. But how to add it? Just that 2 steps, right? Three. One is first we have the user control first. How to add the user control? Right click, add a new item, set new item with the file extension .axcx. That one is user control. Yeah, and then this user control we need to register to our web form so that our web form can use the user control. How to register? The first tab, first syntax. And then how to add the user control to our web form? The second syntax. Okay, it is from the slide. These two. Yeah. So the example I show you already. Let us continue with the properties. Okay, method. The one is the properties. Mentions 2 things, right? One is properties, one is method. So this is the method. Okay. We can also expose method in the user controls programmatically. So consider we would like to create a method called chp8 for the page header user control. Page header user control. Examples like this is simple if else, okay, then display something. Okay. So our page header, this user control will display this message based on these simple rules or simple programs that we put in. Okay, so this one also I've done it. Okay. Okay. So means that in our user control axcx.cx file, then we have a method. This one is the method, right? This is the method or function. So we create a functions, okay, called chp8 for this user control. Okay, so how to create means that inside our CS file we create a function. Okay, so this is a function. The public methods, okay, this is a public method. This is a public method. These public methods will be accessed by all the pages that contain this user control. Yeah, like the properties. So now we know what is the properties, what is the method or the functions. Okay, and which we can apply the properties and the methods like other web forms in our user control. So this is in our web form. This is web form, right? Just now is user control. So in our homepage.axpx web form, the CS file, okay. So consider we would like to create a property called page titles for the page headers user control. Okay, so this is the user control. Yeah, right. This is the user control. Okay. This is the property. Just now we put in publics. Okay. Publics. Just now is what? Not remember. Okay. But publics, whatever things we assign is the labels. Okay. That one is the properties, and this is another properties. We say that this properties in that controls, user control, we want to set it to the time. Okay, so we set the user controls. Okay, like normals we convert it to strings and only we apply it to the labels. Okay, and this user controls, okay, we call the function or the method. Okay, so this is another examples which we use properties and method which associate with our user control. Read the slides, really hard to understand, right? Okay, so this one also I put it inside the code already. Done. Okay, so this is another control. Okay, this is another control, right? User control axcx is user control. So this user control says nothing. Okay, everything inside my CS file is nothing, so it means that it is not this one. Simple or page header. Okay, this is page header. One labels only. These are one labels. I follow the slide just to show what is. Okay, to show you what's the slides. Okay, try to show you. Okay, so I just simply follow the slide, okay, and then I follow the slide, put it inside the CS file, okay, exactly like the slide, to explain to you what is the method. Okay, so this is the user control, right? This user control with the file extension .axcx, okay, page header. Then also I follow exactly page header.axcx. Okay. Inside this page header.axcx, okay, public that time login text, that one is property. Yeah. Okay. Public void check time, that one is the method. Okay, method. So this method, okay, follows the slide. Okay, it says that if that one is less than 12, then we say good morning. Yeah, else we say good day. The simple one, right? Simple rules. So this is properties and method in a user control. Yeah. So user control, understand, right? If you understand this one, please understand the slide, because okay, this one I follow the slide and then put it inside the Visual Studio so that you understand it. Okay. Okay. So these page headers, I put it inside. Inside what? Page headers, single headers to homepage. Okay, homepage. This one. Okay, page header. So I register this page header. User control is page header, right? I register. Okay, and then I add this page header. Okay, add this page header. Yeah. So based on these ones, based on these ones, it will say the labels. It will text the run the methods, take the properties, and shows whether it's good morning or good day. Okay, good day. Yeah. Okay. Right. This is from the slide. Yeah. Okay. How to apply it? Two steps only, right? Three steps actually. One, we have the user control first. The second one is how to register and how to add the user control to our web form. Yeah. Next, more things or not? This one is in your pericles. Okay, so the pericles I explained during the pericles. Yeah, this one also the pericle one. This is the answer for your pericle actually. This is the answer for the pericles. I think still got one more I've done it, which is check the time. This one, convert. The question says it assumes that the user control convert.axcx have the properties name minimum value. Yeah. User controls, the user control is convert.axcx, have a properties is min value. Demonstrate in code how to include the user control in web page. There are two steps: register and add. And set the minimum value to 1. Okay, with appropriate tag prefix and tag name. Okay, so this question is asked you to do whatever step we have gone through just now. Yeah. Here involve 1, user control. Okay. After that, registers in a web page platform. Okay, and add-ins. Okay, and in our codes we need to show that the minimum values are set to minimum value 1. Okay, so these ones I've done and I show you. Okay, when we see these questions, maybe we don't know how to do, but how to do actually the step is from the previous slide. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, so the first is convert, right? Okay, so I do this one. Converts. Okay, so some things. Okay, based on the question, actually I need a label only, so I put in a label in my convert.axcx. Yeah, I put in a label. Okay, after that in my CS file, I put in properties and the method. Okay, so the properties is this one is integer, so I put in public integers. Just now is a string, so I use a string. Yeah, so this one is the properties. And during the page load, I say that the minimums, show in the label. Yeah, minimum show in the label. So that's it in my user control. Okay, to fulfill the question says that create a convert.axcx with the properties. Integers minimum is 1. Yeah, so this is the first one. Create a user control. Okay, after that, we have a web form, right? Homepage is a web form. So I use the same web form only. 2 steps. Okay, first register the user control. So you see my line number 4. Okay, register source is converter AXCX. Okay, prefix and tag name. Okay, and this is my commands. This is my commands. Okay, so three steps on it. Okay, so when I run it, it shows this one is from converter. This one is from convert. This one is from convert. Okay. Okay, what else? No. Done. So this one, a very simple things involve three steps. One is create a user controls. Inside the user control for properties and method. And then second one is inside our web forms, register and add the user control. Yeah. Okay. Good day already show. Okay. And this one is okay. This one also already shows. Okay. And loading user controls programmatically. This one is your Pericles Pericle things. Okay. So when you go to Pericle, I show you this one. Okay. How to use the load controls to fulfill the Pericles requirement. Okay. And this is the code needed for that. Okay. Pericles. But this one is also the Pericle thing. Okay. This is when you do your Pericles, okay, you don't know how to do, I refer back, this is the answer. Okay, user control and custom control. User control is very easy. Okay, add a new items and then tag the .axcs. That one is user controls already. Custom controls is a bit difficult. Okay. Okay, and when we just start our slide, you actually have advantages and limitations. One of the limitations is the user controls is easy to use, but okay, it's not flexible and the functionality is not like the custom control. Okay, means that the custom control more powerful, but it's very difficult to create. Something like that. That's why your Pericles don't have custom control. But still, I need to go through what is the custom control. Okay, custom controls. Okay, there are 3 ways to create a custom control. Okay, derive the custom control from an existing control. Okay, and then composites the controls, groups the existing controls together. Okay, into a new compound control. And then the third one is the full custom control derived from its library systems.web.ui.web controls.web controls. Okay, composites the controls are most similar to user control. So there are 3 ways to create a custom control. Okay, compare user controls. Okay, it is like ASPX pages. Okay, and extension is AXCX. Okay, support cachings, easy to create. Okay, good for static layout. Customs control. Okay, these actually are .dll files. What is .dll files? You never touch it. You never touch it. Okay, so custom control actually is a .dll files. Okay, these are precompiled components. Okay, does not support cachings. Okay, hard to create and good for dynamics layouts. Okay, difference between the user control and custom control. User controls limited support for consumers who use a Visual Studio tools. We just click and drag, okay, and like our web forms only. Okay, separate copy of the control is required in each applications. Okay, so when we create a project, okay, you need the same user control, then you need to create a user control again. Okay, cannot be attached to a toolbox in Visual Studio. Means that this is user controls. This is not something like the library components that we able to add in inside our toolbox. Compare with the custom control. Actually, custom control is a full visual design tool support for consumers. Only a single copy of the control is required in the global assembly cache and can be added to the toolbox in Visual Studio. Means that this is actually something like you create a tools which attach to a toolbox. So it is very difficult things. Yeah. So this chapters what we gone through is user control. Like your web control is easy things. And compared with custom control is another hardest things which we didn't cover. Okay. But you need to know what is the difference. Okay. Stills. Okay. Stills. Okay. Yeah. Briefly describe the differences means that all these are the differences. Okay. Stills, if you want to try to explore what is the custom controls, this is the link that's what examples which you're able to try. It is a custom control. This custom controls, this control actually is a dialog box, okay? Dialog box or the pop-up things or dialog box. Okay, so this is custom control. Okay, which custom control actually we can able to provide a components. These components, okay, it's like components inside a toolbox, okay, which we able to use it in every project. Okay, and this link provided is an example of this process. Okay, it shows the steps to create a dialog box, and this dialog box is not user control; it is a custom control. Okay, and you do this one. Okay, just show you what I did is I close this one. Custom control. So, this is the custom controls, okay, which I created. Okay, it is a project. Okay, custom control itself is a project. Okay, and the custom control, these ones, okay, which I added to the libraries. Okay, what I put in this one is just a label. Okay, but these labels I use the custom controls way to create it. Okay, and after that I create another project to use this custom control. Okay, this is the symbols web project. Okay, this. Okay. This is a custom control I add to my web form. Okay, but this custom control is just a label. Okay, just now the examples the link show is a dialog box. The dialog box seems more difficult. I didn't do. Okay. But what I did is I make a custom control, and this custom control I just show a labels on it. Okay. But this part is a custom control. Okay. User control is an item inside a project, right? This custom control itself is a project. Okay. I create a component, custom controls, and this custom controls. This is the custom controls, okay, which I created. Okay, this is a custom control. Okay, and what I use is just a text only. Okay, so it will just show a text only. This is a text only. Okay, so when I add to my web form, okay, I just add a custom control which show a text. So this is an example of custom control. If you are interested to try a little bit, okay, then here. How to add a custom controls? Okay, it is like the first and second steps. Okay, registers, and this is registers custom control. Okay? And this is the controls, okay, that we add inside the platform. Okay. Steps are steps, just register and add the control. But the ways to create a custom control is difficult. Okay. So different the similars and different things. Okay. And that's it. This is week 11. Are you 11 still need to count headcount? Week 12 no need. Okay. Right. Count headcount. Right.
Balik.